them out individually. They have different content that even I watch myself. So if you want to be a paid member, that gets you into an Instagram chat, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Go click that join button now. Otherwise, the best way to support Aussieverse is by subscribing and liking the videos. Can this end already? That's too long. Okay. Backlash.
I super believe in you. You can do it.
Please go for it, sir.
Look, I didn't expect much out of the event, right? I kind of forgot because it's such a short lead up that I didn't expect. I forgot, or I forgot how few matches were on this card. I think we only had 5 matches on the card, right? And yeah, I mean, you had 2 of them that were good. The one that was not bad, but you had 2 that were, what are these do? What a waste of time. So, and then you only had two clean victories in the in there. So
I don't know if I'm being a little warped with my viewing because I am under the weather and I was sitting there watching the pay-per-view the whole time, as you do, you know, and I feel like when when you are sick and you watch a movie or something entertaining, I think you do watch it with a different eyes than you normally would. I think you get into things a lot more. So my point is that for a pay-per-view that I honestly couldn't really care about beforehand, the only match that I was looking forward to seeing was John Cena versus Randy Orton. I got to admit, I was pleasantly entertained. We'll go through the matches as to why, but yeah, for a bit of a dud pay-per-view, I was entertained.
Well, that makes one of us. I felt like I was just going through motions, watching it, and being forced to intake a bunch of commercials, like a really bad Clockwork Orange, and I was being forced to consume shit that I didn't want to see, but I couldn't avert my eyes.
Fair enough. Papa, what about you? Thumbs up or down for the pay-per-view all over before we get into the nitty-gritty of it all? I also noticed that that ad Morgan and Morgan right in the middle of the ring just really was a throw off, wasn't it? Like it really just drew you away from the match, from the matches in general.
I'm getting really frustrated. It's bad. It's one thing, all the ring apron and the ring posts and the scoreboard and the Prime hydration station and, you know, these other events where we're faking a thrown in Michelob bottle so we can showcase Michelob and whatever else stupid stuff we're doing. You know, those things that you can almost forgive, but the stuff on the mat is just too much. They need to get rid of that stuff. It's just,
before we get into it,
it wasn't as bad as, thank God, at WrestleMania, where every turnbuckle had a different ad on it, on the turnbuckle coverings and, you know, everything else. But
how are we going to do next month's, boys? Because we've got that AAA pay-per-view and Money in the Bank on the same day. So I don't know how that's going to work. Like, do we do one after the AAA event? And then
why don't you worry about that later? Let's talk about this event first.
Well, I just thought I'd get it out there before we did get into it, because that's going to be a bit,
That's awkward. Like a month away, man.
All right.
This is now.
Fair enough. Before leading into the first match, did you have any rumors or any hopes that you wanted to see in this pay-per-view that either did or did not happen?
I didn't. It went exactly as I assumed. I mean, looking at the card, I didn't expect a single title to change. I didn't expect, and I didn't expect Pat McAfee to win. So that was your only non-title match. I mean, this is what's crazy to me. You've got so much talent that's sitting around picking their noses that has nothing to do. that you can't get, that you can't get them TV time supposedly to build stories. So that you're releasing talent up the wazoo. And what are you then you're serving us a 5-match pay-per-view with only 4 titles of your 4 of your titles being defended, and you're doing, and one of them is going to be a freaking non-wrestler match. I mean, I know that they're trying to put stuff over onto Saturday Night Main Event, and that's why it is, because they're going to have some of these guys. They go, oh, we got to have Jay who's going to go over here, and whatever else. But Saturday Night Main Event, you don't expect anything to happen either. So it's just a bunch of treading water right now, which is really the problem. I would like to see the WWE get out of their formula. And I mean, even though, because we had it at first, Triple H did change some stuff up, but really at this time, it's like, oh, this person's had the belt last month. We know they're not going to drop their belt. Oh, this person. Oh, we're already advertising this person's farewell tour in all these different locations. They're not dropping the belt. Oh, we know. It's just. But at the same time,
I feel you. I feel your perspective is what we need, because, to be honest, I don't actually see it that way until you give me that bird's eye view. I think I get sucked into it a bit, where I'm like, yeah, you know what? It was a shitty pay-per-view on paper leading up to it, but I was entertained. Where you look at it more from an above angle, and you're like, yeah, but in the big scheme of things, and I think you've got great points.
I mean, if I'm going in knowing it's nothing to begin with, then you need to put on a show. Now, having said that, right? You come in your first match, right? You got Lyra versus Becky Lynch, right? Is that the first? No, the first match was the boys, the 4-way, fatal 4-way.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So that match, again, I didn't expect a title change in there, and I expected shenanigans of some sort at some point. Yeah. Did I expect how the shenanigans went down? No, I didn't expect that individual coming in. But did I expect something? Yeah. And you didn't expect title change. But overall, I mean, that match put on, it was a spot fest, more or less. Here's our 4 guys.
We got to see Jacob Fatu finally act a little at the end of the match.
Yeah, and he's coming out on his own, and he's doing well, but 5-match wrestling. I mind. I don't need to have, like, you have wrestlers that on TV you've trained your audience to watch 10-minute matches max. Now you're gonna go to a pay-per-view, and all of a sudden I gotta watch Cena and freaking Randy Orton go for 40 minutes doing nothing, essentially. I mean, I don't know. Jeff Cobb, he's interesting. I mean, hopefully, I haven't seen his stuff in New Japan Wrestling. I heard about him only recently. I'm not a true wrestling fan like some people want to call themselves, because I don't follow all these different other things. I barely follow AEW in addition to WWE, but and I catch an occasional rumored trade. But I've heard that he's hot, and hopefully, he does good things. But teaming him up with Solo and them, I don't know. It's like, seems like Solo is a dead act too at this point. They need to break up that, just end that whole thing and move hopefully do it quick.
I think the problem with the new bloodline in general was you had Solo, who was meant to be this powerhouse guy, next big thing, blah, blah, blah. And that's what they wrote him to be. And he was for a while with his thumb and everything. And then all of a sudden you had the next guy come in, and he lasted about a week until someone else came in and outshined him. And then the next person came in, which was Jacob Fatu, outshined them all. And by that stage, like,
your leader also ran, and then you had to job him out to Roman Reigns because Roman Reigns. So it was tough.
So I've actually, for a long time, I've called Solo Sikoa the luckiest bastard in wrestling, because it wasn't very long before he was doing his NXT, and then he was on the main show, and then not just that, but like in a prominent role. And I'm like, he's been given the keys to the kingdom because of this storyline. And I'm not saying it wasn't deserved or it just wasn't worth it. I'm not whatever, but it was just very, very quick. And I just doubt if that storyline was that he would have gotten to where he was that quickly. But now you've got Fatu just shitting on the wall.
So you get these four guys, and it's a match what you expect it to be. You got four big guys. They're going from spot to spot to spot, and they're going through tables, they're going off of this, going off that. So I mean, it's a fine match. I don't those guys there aren't. I'm not they're not going to put on a flippy do match, although they do got some pretty nimble guys in there, and it was a fine match. It was nothing to write home about, I felt, but it was a solid match. Obviously then you immediately end with your hijinks. You can't have a clean win right out of the gates. So yeah. And again, it's like, did anybody think that after just putting the belt on him that you weren't going to have him win again? I mean, especially when you turned around and put him in it's obvious you're building a storyline with him and slow building a storyline with him and Solo, and you just had him win it in a fatal 4-way. So what other way to continue to establish him as his beast, but to have him win another fatal 4-way?
That's right. Yeah, I thought there was no way there was no way Jacob wasn't winning that. If anybody, I thought maybe Drew, because he mentioned it'll make him a Grand Slam champion.
I think Drew's got something that they're doing with him where it's like, hey, we're just going to use you perpetually as the bridesmaid, but you're not actually going to get to walk down the aisle, because he has been aside from his 45-second reign at WrestleMania 2 years ago or something, he's been just an also ran for a long time.
Yeah, but he deserves a bit more than what he's getting, which is why I was surprised he was even in that title picture to begin with. But apparently after this, he's going to be back in the world picture again. But yeah, we'll see. But obviously Jacob Fatu, I don't think is going to last very long in the mid-card scene. You're going to want to see him in the world title picture scene.
Oh, now there's where I disagree. I think you see a character like him and you go, okay, you can do stuff with him in that mid card, but I don't see him as a guy where you're saying this is somebody that I can build any kind of long-term storylines along with it at the top level of my company. He's a solid B plus player, but I don't see him as a top tier A guy no matter what.
Oh, I do.
Oh, we'll disagree there. You'll see I'm right, but that's okay. I'm sure Papa agrees with me.
I was kind of hoping LA
on
Knight would
on this piece. You're hoping that LA Knight would
turn heel in this match?
Oh, this isn't that type of a match. This is just a let's have people run at each other and bang and have big man meat slapping man meat.
I think LA Knight needs to.
He's over.
Shake up his role a bit,
But he's already over with. He's got something that's got him some modicum of success. He's selling some merch, but it's way down from where he was a year and a half ago, and he's already missed. He's already missed his peak. They waited too long, and he's done.
Oh yeah, Papa, we'll see, man. We'll see.
I don't even think a heel turn would make a difference for him. They got the WWE's got too many heels already. Anyways, they need to have some solid faces. You can't have just Cody as your fucking and Jey Uso as your only two faces in the company.
Yeah, Triple H says hold my beer.
Yeah, well, Anyway, so I don't that's my opinion of the first match. Was it was solid, nothing to write home about. I would have rather, I think that the TLC match, the tag team TLC match the other week was way better than that match, though.
Yeah, 100%. I didn't mind it. I enjoyed it. It was just a spot show. You were right. It was what it was. It was typical. So yeah, I guess it's not really a pay-per-view match in my opinion.
Yeah,
it's something you can see on SmackDown any week.
Yeah. The only difference was you got a couple extra spots in it because it was a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Moving on, then we've got the Becky Lynch versus Valkyria.
Possibly the best match of the night.
I think she really stepped up a lot tonight, don't you?
Well, I don't think that Valkyria has been bad. I think some of her opponents have not been all that great. The women's division has a lot of people in it, and there's a lot of them that have moments, and at other times always surprise me with the slow clunkiness from they have difficult transitioning and making fluid matches. They can do, there's a good amount of the talent that I believe when I watch them, they can execute individual moves fine, but flowing from one to the next and putting them together is clunky and slow. This match wasn't the case. This match I thought went very well. A lot of that, Becky Lynch is good. Lyra Valkyria, she's solid. I'm not, she didn't need to be carried like the way that Tiffy had to be carried at WrestleMania. But again, going into this match, any thought that Valkyria was going to drop this belt went away when they took the belt off of Chelsea Green, because there was no way within a couple of weeks that they were going to take their two new belts that both got awarded at the same time and have them both transition at the same time, essentially.
Oh, I wouldn't have been surprised if they did that, to be honest.
No, that would have been absolutely stupid. They're building like Valkyria up. Valkyria up. They're really high on her. And so it made sense the way that they shoehorned Becky Lynch. The whole storyline went with Becky Lynch on this thing, and Becky Lynch's turn heel. It only made sense that in the process, Becky helped put her over again. She did it once at the NXT level. She does it again at the WWE level to help push her. I agree. She's not ready necessarily to be the women's champion, but she can sit here and hold this mid-card title, which is exactly why WWE needed to do this. If they're serious about building a women's title, build a women's division that's solid and near on par to the men's, they had to have these mid-card titles to help develop some of this talent and give them chances to shine on the main roster. So I'm really happy with that. I think that she can carry this title and it'll be fine. Let her carry this title for a while and establish it. There's nothing wrong with that. That would be great. Put on some great matches. She can help get some of the other talent over, and they can help get her over, but while still carrying that belt for a bit.
She acted like she had a lot more confidence tonight than what I'm used to, which I don't know if that's a testament to her trusting relationship in real life with Becky Lynch,
possibly,
or what they've done backstage prior. But Becky was selling very well for her as well. I thought it was a great match.
Yeah, no, it was a good match. I enjoyed it. So yeah, good, proper job there.
Yeah.
Also, our first and potentially only true clean victory of the night.
Yeah. I think maybe they need to take that shit out of Valkyrie's hair, because every time they kept like doing a certain look, it just looked like she had shit all over her head all the time. I don't know if anyone else thought that, but I did. Please don't give. Oh, thank you very much, great legend.
I'd be curious how long. I mean, once can she hold it? I'd like to see her hold it for at least 3 to 4 more months. I think it'd be good to establish on these new belts some lineage on there. And in the past, Triple H had said that they wanted to rewrite some of these timelines of these books, hence they'd given Gunther such a long run on the men's IC and stuff. Depending on whether or not they have room for her on the top card is really depends on how much time she's down there holding that title. Because
I reckon she'll at least hold it till at least SummerSlam,
or until at least SummerSlam, and then who knows? Now you got some more of the NXT gals that they're talking about bringing up. They can get some more talent, so those talent get some good fights with that younger talent on that mid-card belt, and let's have some fun with it.
Yeah.
Papa's dog is going to find China soon.
What?
His dog is digging for China.
At the end of the match, I thought it was rubbish. Yeah. All right. After that, Penta versus Dom. Dom,
runner up match of the night. Holy cow! I could not believe my eyes that that I know that Dom is actually pretty good. He's been playing a character for so long. I know he's really been working on his stuff this whole time but it was great to see him and Penta put on a solid show, solid performance. You knew because of he just got the belt. If you're going to give him anything with him getting over a little bit over and all this other stuff, you're not going to strip it off of him, even though Penta's hyper popular. But you knew that you were going to have, because Dom is with Judgment Day, you knew you could have Penta take the loss without making him look like a punk.
I love how they're still playing as well with that little bit of seed with Finn Balor as well. What the hell? You know what I mean? Like, just pull that trigger already. Don't get me wrong. I'm kind of sick of it at the same time, but I'm glad I felt glad that they're continuing it tonight with, Finn's not over that, mate. Finn is not over that.
Yeah, you have to be careful. It's a dangerous tightrope to how long you can draw that type of storyline out before it's like the Austin Theory thing with what's his name from Australia? Who's your boy? Yeah. Who's your boy? Where like they teased the breakup for so long, but now does anybody care?
Yeah.
So it's like you can't. Yeah, you got to be careful. And if Papa says Finn will carry it until SummerSlam, that would be fine. I don't think you. I think that's really, with SummerSlam being the next pay-per-view. I think if they don't pull the trigger before then, I think you risk expiring the fans' interest on it. So, yeah. But I mean, ultimately, you knew that match was going to go with shenanigans, and obviously, then bringing in the fucking Chad Gable, just gets yourself he's gonna obviously have his thing with Penta now, which is great. But
yeah, I keep forgetting about El Grande Americano, and every time I've seen him do a run in, I keep thinking it's Phoenix.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, what's he doing? And then it's not.
Yeah, I did read like somebody was like there was some good observations I read in one of the dirt sheets or whatever, where somebody was talking about that they were super happy that when WWE brought them in, that they separated Rey Fenix and Penta onto different shows to let them be singles wrestlers instead of just going for the Lucha Brothers. But their biggest fear was with this Grande Americano and creating the common enemy between the two of them stuff, that you were rocketing towards a tag team match of sorts where you were going to bring them together too soon. That really, that type of thing needs to be like something that gets cultivated, something that happens like down the road.
Reports now that they want to bring them together soon.
Right, but that's the thing. It was like they've been together for so long. Continue to let them be different. Let them build up individually. You did a great job building up Penta right out of the gates. You've done nothing with Rey Fenix. Ray Phoenix is coming. He's just a man, another guy in a mask.
Yeah, but he's doing well though.
He's great. But tell me what he's done on screen for WWE is any better than anything they've done with Dragon Lee or freaking anybody else. It's just, oh, he's a guy in a mask. He comes out and he puts on a couple spots, but at the end of the day, meh.
Yeah, fair enough. You're not wrong. It'll be exciting when they do put them together, I reckon, though.
But there's no need to do that for a full another year.
Yeah, well, that's what's going to make it more special when they finally do.
Right, you do that at like WrestleMania or something, or where they come together and do something crazy. But anyways,
second last match of the night was Gunther versus Pat McAfee with no Popper Pump in sight. How did you feel about this match?
Waste of freaking time. And this is where essentially the pay-per-view went to complete garbage. I want to see Americano Grande be unmasked. Yeah, I think that's obviously that's something that you work towards on that happening. And the question is it'll probably be a mask versus mask thing where somebody maybe it'll be Penta the way they're building that up, where Penta and him will have to fight in a mask versus mask, and there'll be all kinds of stupid, crazy shenanigans, but somehow Penta overcomes and he wins. Which reminds me, speaking of shenanigans and Penta overcoming and stuff, I have a question. Does Finn Balor have it in his contract that he doesn't have to catch anybody jumping from the ring to the outside? Because I'm watching, this was not the first time where he's in a group and somebody's running to do a plancha or something, suicide dive, and then all of a sudden Finn Balor like ducks out of the way and he's not part of the group doing the catching.
I have not noticed that, but I'm gonna have to take note now.
Yeah, dude. I mean, today they made it storyline. It was part of the storyline. Why he didn't? But I've seen it on multiple occasions now where he's like there with the group, and then all of a sudden he's not amongst the bodies laying on the ground.
Well, see, someone just made me aware just a few days ago of the whole Samoa Joe nope thing.
You've never seen it?
Oh, I don't know how, because I used to watch.
That is the greatest freaking move in all of wrestling.
Isn't it amazing?
Because it's the most realistic. Because how many times have you sat there and watched somebody sit there in the drop zone while the person up on top's getting ready and stuff? And you're like, why are you just standing there? And he doesn't. And he
if you don't know what we're talking about, go to YouTube.
Joe. He said that. Yeah.
And type in Samoa Joe Nope, Nope. Because I don't know, man. Like, it's obviously nothing like that, but I have no idea what to say to that, because it could be a matter of a few different things: contract, him just being an asshole. Who knows? Yeah.
Well, anyway, so you were talking about the Gunther Pat McAfee fiasco. This is a match that shouldn't even be a pay-per-view match, in my opinion. Secondly, it should only be 60 seconds long at most. There's zero excuse for anything. And that for that match to have gone on for 15 freaking minutes is unbelievable. And then on top of that, you just have, it's I don't know. I get Gunther's toying with him. Come on. That doesn't fit his personality, really. None of this stuff.
I think they're walking a really fine line. I think they're walking a really fine line.
I get it. I get it. What they're doing is two things. First and foremost, they care. WWE cares only about social media viral moments and getting Pat McAfee with all his show and all the free press and hype that they get from it, and then him going on there and doing well, and all these different things. These are all things that are going to generate buzz, blah blah blah. And by having, and you knew that, fortunately he lost. God forbid if Gunther had to take the loss from Pat, that would have been abysmal. But you had to make, in doing so, they're going to make Pat McAfee look good. But I mean, come on, to have him do like that was maybe what, a 60-40 match, or it just a true wrestler like Gunther would have just taken Pat to the ground and choked him out in less than 40 seconds.
Yeah, which is what should have happened.
Matt Packby did his job. He did well. It was entertaining. Nothing wrong with the free press. I get it, but I mean, I want my suspension. I miss kayfabe a little bit. There's a difference between what we have today of where Hunter is completely tearing down kayfabe, Hunter completely, to now asking me to completely and utterly suspend my disbelief. And we'll get into that in the last match of the night. But I mean, this just becomes like, okay, I get it. Pat McAfee, maybe he gets a little adrenaline here and there. He gets in some chops and stuff. But I mean, the wrestler doesn't wrestle and doesn't just shake him out and show him up or anything else. And then now we got this big heel. He's going to shake his hand, and I don't know. Yeah, of course he'll talk about it on Monday. What
was with the shaking the hand?
It's a show that again helped put McAfee over. It's showing that, oh, I'm this big bad ring general. You stood in here with me and went some time, and even though I beat you, I respect you because the ring is sacred thing. I mean, after you've just had him doing this stuff with all the stuff he did with Jey Uso, and the fact that he's just come out and do these announcements, I mean, come on, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
It's bugging me because I keep seeing Papa typing, and I'm looking for his messages, and I don't know where they're going.
Well, they're not going to us.
I'm only seeing every so often here, so I keep looking in the private chat, and they're not there. So I hope you haven't sent a ton of messages we haven't replied to, Papa. Okay, good, because I'd be really sad if we were missing your commentary. I'll fill in the blanks. Papa said, oh, they went to my Instagram. Papa said, Rob, you're absolutely right. Rob is amazingly smart. Rob is perfectly spot on. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Papa.
He's been dead since the internet. No, yeah, look, I don't mind if you got a guy like Pat McAfee coming in, and for the first 5-10 minutes, it's him trying with all of his might and doing all these moves and showing us what he can do. But at the end of the day, the match should still end the same way, and that is with the wrestler selling it a little bit to make them look good, but then the wrestler just destroys them at the end. It really should be that way.
Yeah, I don't think it should have lasted as long as it has, considering how much talent is sitting back there in catering. Karrion Kross, sitting back there having to fund his own documentaries and stuff to get attention and go fight and pit fights and stuff like that. But you're taking this guy and letting him take 15 minutes of pay-per-view time up. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I get that true kayfabe was dead for a long time now. I get that. And then there's the next level stuff where, under Triple H, where we're allowed to now talk about it openly on the, instead of just going like, okay, we know that people know, but we're going to pretend like they don't know still, to now you hear them in the ring talking about, heels and faces and all these different terms and stuff, just openly out in the open now. But so that's fine. I get that. But now we're going to get in this point where we're just doing absolutely lunacy stuff. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. And I'm 100% with you.
I'd like to be able to suspend my momentarily, get caught up like a movie. I know when I go watch Rocky, whatever movie, Smokey and the Bandit, he's not going to go across the country in 40 minutes, whatever the case it is. I can suspend disbelief for a few moments, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, move on. It's the same thing with this. This is entertainment. I want to be able to suspend disbelief for a moment and have it be somewhat believable, right? Not just a complete fantastical farce that of which there's not a chance of believing. Like our final match,
John
where
Cena versus Randy Orton,
where you have a referee go down, he's down for so long, and you're like, you got people, the announcers are talking about medical attention or something. Nothing comes, and they're having to make up excuses like, oh, like the medical staff is so busy with the beat up bodies in the back. What? And there's like an actual medical emergency, possibly, and your guys can't help someone, can't say, hey, or hold this ice pack on your shoulder for a moment while I go take care of somebody who's actually hurt. What? All those people that we always see back there in gorilla position, because you walk your wrestlers through there, and there's multiple referees and stuff, and officials there, that none of them are running down until we get this ready to do this. But now all of a sudden somebody's going to come running down and be just late. And then when he goes down, we're going to have all of a sudden all these executives come out. Not one of them do anything about what's going on, but immediately go to tend to the second referee, who's been down for all of 10 seconds. While the first referee's been over there in the corner, freaking out cold for the last 5 minutes. Nobody helped at all. But now suddenly you're concerned and you need 6 bodies and not one official is able to count the match. This is such a complete and utter ridiculousness. I mean, I know that what was going to happen. I know that John Cena is not losing the match. You've already advertised his appearances at future shows. So it's not like it's a surprise. I know that you're not going to have him beat him clean for 2 reasons. 1, WWE, and 2, it's his hometown. You're asking Randy to take a loss in his hometown. You're not going to do it clean. Plus, you're still trying. Plus, I guess reason 3, you're trying to make Cena a heel. Therefore, he has to win by hook and crook.
Yeah.
But at least make it plausible. This was just ridiculous.
Wow, Rob. I don't know how to, like, I want to, for a better show, I want to be able to argue with you on your points so that we can have something to talk about, but I just can't. I agree with everything that you're saying. This is the one point. For a very last encounter between 2 legends, I'm very grateful of the performance that they put on. And I'm happy. Fine. And I'm happy that I got to see them again. Yeah. However, those shenanigans, not only does it not make any sense, so why write it that way, but why wouldn't you just try something different, but in a good way?
But you could have wrote the same thing. You could have wrote the exact same thing, except not have one referee be completely ignored for 5, 6, 7 minutes. The next one, then all of a sudden everybody's Johnny on the spot showing up when it was just, it was so awkward. It's like, how long is that referee down? And no official in the back saying, hey, send medical down, or at least send another referee out. We have a title match. Nobody cared. Nick Aldis didn't care. The storyline head guy doesn't give a damn. It's just, look, as much as it pains me to say this, because the product puts me to sleep so much, at least AEW knows that you can actually allow somebody to pin somebody, and it doesn't always have to be tons and tons of unbelievable hijinks. Just saying.
Yeah, it sounds like pay-per-views these days are nothing but hijinks.
Well, question: are they booking him, Cena, like this because Cena can't go as he once did? I don't know. No, I'm sure that there might be. There's a little bit of that just because he's not constantly doing it. But what I will say is, I think that they're booking him like this because they're trying to make him heel. You've got a character that's his entire career face. You know he's leaving. You know they're trying to build this heel persona up and make it plausible. He's still getting he's still getting pops. He's still getting cheers, and they're trying to make him heel. And the crowd's going along with it just for the sake of going along with it so they can have fun chanting stuff. But at the end of the day, everybody knows there's another face turn in him before the end of this year. He's not retiring as a heel. It's not going to happen. Not so. Yeah, I mean, they're doing what they're doing for that aspect of the story. That's obvious.
Yeah.
What little story it is. I really thought Cena was just going to hit the ref and get DQ.
I thought the Cena match was going to end the same way it ended back in, I can't remember what now, but where Orton was the bad guy and Cena was the face, and Orton, what was it? I think he hit the ref with the title, and then Cena won it. I thought it was going to be something very similar to that, to mirror that, but them on opposite ends now. But they didn't even do that.
I don't know. I mean, those two going at it is fine. Again, they're going to do, when you get those guys who've been in WWE as long as they have been, and you've got a guy like Cena who's a part-time wrestler, I'm not expecting a lot from the match. I'm not, look, neither one of them were putting on super ridiculous, crazy matches. Cena's part-time. Randy Orton is got to protect himself to some degree. He can't do the same stuff he was. So they put on their, some of their greatest hit spots. That's fine. That's what I expect anytime I get legends facing off against each other at the end of their careers, right? So the match was exactly what you expected. You go, okay, filler, hit this. Filler, hit this. Filler, hit this. Okay, now let's do a fake pin here. Let's do a fake pin here. Insert shenanigans. The script is fine. I really just got really bothered by the freaking stuff with the referee for so long. It just was awkward and made it seem complete farcical. If you had done it, let's say you want to do all this stuff, you could have done it where another referee came out and he goes down, and let's bring out a string of referees and they all get accidentally hit, beat, whatever throughout the thing. Drop 5 of them down on the ground. You know what? That's far more believable than that one we don't care about for 7 minutes. Even though people are saying, oh, we should get medical. Oh, this guy goes down, let's bring everybody out, and we're only going to tend to him. Dude, if I'm that other ref, I want to know what I did wrong.
I do appreciate Cena now with his gear, how he said he's not changing and all that, but he makes it darker now, and his entrance is now just the black and white John Cena.
Generic, yeah.
So I do like it how they've made it just that little bit dark Cena. Even though they said they weren't going to change anything.
He's giving up on the fans, so he's not doing the stuff for the fans. So I'm still surprised that he would even do the 5-knuckle shuffle, or because the fans want to see all that. Well, forget you and your. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do the stupid slide over to the rope. I'm just going to drop instead and drop the fist down or something.
Which just shows that it's all bullshit anyway. You know what
2 weeks till Saturday night main event. Okay. Is he going to be on? Is he booked for Saturday night main event, Papa?
He's on the poster. So, yeah. I mean, his whole face is the poster. So, you'd assume so.
Hooray. So, he'll probably, given that it's only 2 weeks, if he's on the card, it's probably a rematch against Randy or something, probably.
Did you want to do a show for after that one?
No, I probably won't care. I don't know. You can do what you want. Maybe I will. I don't know.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Don't put me in it. Don't expect me to commit to something 2 weeks from now. By the way, would you like to be on Only Slabs 3 months from now?
We do appreciate you both joining. Sorry, it's going to be a short one today, but I really struggled with the way that I can barely breathe. If I'm being honest, I keep having to mute myself. Next month I'll be.
You gotta go get yourself a nice neti pot.
Next month I'll be more guns blazing with my thoughts and opinions on the pay-per-view. So, Rob, I really appreciate you taking the lead, because otherwise it would have just been me and Papa probably just staring into each other's beautiful eyes and sharing a comment here and there. Where can people find you, Rob?
There. Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, at Rob's Fat Stacks. I do stuff on YouTube.
We are proudly sponsored by Comic Book Aroo, Australia's #1 online comic book store. Go check them out. We'll be back next week for our normal shows, and we will be back next month for, I don't even know what, maybe the AAA show, maybe.
But hey, before then,
both.
You can make sure you check out Papa Wheelie on Thursdays for Sweet Chin Music. You can make sure that you get your wrestling fix every week as him and his panel of guests come on to discuss the weekly's wrestling scene.
So there we go. What is Aussieverse, boys?
I've heard that it's for life, but apparently not if you're sick.
Yes, very good. For life. Catch you next time.